We want to see the truth, if it's ugly or if it's not ugly. And those that are responsible, be they Democrats or Republicans, black or white, Jew or Gentile, need to be locked the fuck up. Stop covering for them, John. Stop covering.
Brian, there's so much you said that I can dispute. I'm not going to dispute any of it.
Nothing. You can't dispute anything.
Well, here's the deal,
Nothing.
Brian.
Zero. Nothing.
Once again, Vince,
They
chill
said another $100
Okay,
billion.
But let him respond real quick.
Vince,
Vince,
you have to
real
chill
quick.
out right there. Because I'm not going to dispute it because I don't want to ruin because I see where this is going. You guys are very comfortable recycling this stuff and listening to it and confirming, the misinformation that you guys have. You don't want anything else other than the misinformation, the conspiracies, the election, the COVID, everything that has happened. There's nothing that has happened according to you guys that is actually the way it appears. Everything looks different. And
you mean like the NIH funding?
You said the tens of thousands.
You said you had the data.
I just want to point something to everyone's attention again. So, if you look at the link I have up top, you're going to see the room with Scaramucci, Anthony Scaramucci, CEO and founder of Skybridge, and that's set for Wednesday, right? We're going to be live with Grant and Scaramucci discussing a variety of things, right? So, if you guys want to participate in that, hit that link up top right now and make sure you set a reminder, RSVP, because as you've seen with our previous rooms with special guests, they're off the chain. And most importantly, when you want to be there prior to the, spaces glitches, make sure you hit the link up top right now on RSVP, set your reminder, and absolutely, let's keep rocking and rolling.
Yes, let's keep rocking and rolling. So I just, I'm about to back channel you some stuff, and I still want to get through all the people that are on the stage. You guys have been patient, so patient. Thank you for that. Scorpio, we're going to come to you.
I just got a text from Jonathan. Meet her.
Oh,
crap. Jonathan, were you speaking?
No, hey, Nelson, we want Jonathan to speak because
I'm good because
the more he makes,
muted. Once again, I don't want to go against what the thing is. I guess you guys want to be echo chamber, so I'm gonna mute out and listen and just be entertained for the rest of the evening.
I don't think an echo chamber is really productive. I have a question for you really quick, Jonathan, if you wouldn't mind, because I actually don't think that...
Who's talking? Oh, Brian.
This is the other Brian. Jonathan, listening to you, I don't think we're super far apart on everything. I think that you're in here listening because there's got to be some similarities. So I just want your opinion on a couple of people that have aligned with your opinion that have been in here, one being Michelle earlier, and the last one there, Rez, or whatever his name was, Rev. Michelle had mentioned something. I just want to get your opinion on this. So she had mentioned China didn't handle the virus properly, right? And when we look at that, China was locked their economy down for 3 years. They had quarantine camps. They destroyed their economy. They drove their largest real estate company, Evergrande, into the ground. What's your opinion on how China handled COVID?
I think they mishandled it. They tried to hide it. They didn't want us to know that something big was going on because they were afraid that it would affect them. And that's one of those things where you tell a lie, and the lie is actually worse than the offense. And so once again, they I think had China informed us what was going on there and what was actually happening there, we could have done something, and I think it would have saved a lot of us. A lot of grief, and saved the world's economy. I think, I do believe that China mishandled this. I know that's not a PC thing to say, but I think they mishandled it, and they're doing it for economic reasons and for reasons that they didn't think that they had to inform us. China, and I hate to say this, is responsible for this pandemic getting to the God. Hopefully that's not offensive to anyone. I just truly feel that way because of the way that it was mishandled in the very beginning.
Yeah, we're in agreement there. And so would you say that the way America handled it, completely shadowed the way that China handled it? Wouldn't you say that our approach to the entire situation was completely mirrored after how they handled it initially?
Not at all. Not at all.
I think what we did was when we once again, we didn't know what we were facing. Okay, I like to believe that we didn't know what we were facing. So when you don't know what you're facing, and I don't think you guys remember what happened over in Italy. Everyone seems to forget what happened in Italy. Italy, I mean, Italy was sending messages to us telling us, hey, it's on its way, and people were dying left and right. And it was, I mean, when I saw what was happening in Italy before it got here,
John, mostly due to high blood pressure.
Yeah. Oh, one second, Mr. Time. That's what it is. And then get out. You guys can go ahead and have at it. When Italy was sending all kinds of dire warnings to telling us, and I remember seeing the videos about what was happening over there, and it was actually quite frightening. So yeah, and I think our citizens and the doctors and the government officials, the elected officials, the local, national, they saw it as well. Well, in retrospect, I wish it would have happened sooner. So that's it. That's all I have to say.
Completely
Thank you,
fair
Jonathan.
enough.
So
Thanks,
hold on,
Jonathan.
guys, one second. Yes, Ashim, I'm going to come to you in just a second, and then we're going to go to Scorpio. But guys, if there's anybody in the room, it's funny because Jonathan, I'm trying to bring up people that maybe would be on that side, on your side, so you're not taking all the work to make this a balanced space. So guys, hit up the little chat and let me know if you agree with Jonathan or if you want to come up here and be kind of, representing that balance for us, because I'm pretty sure he needs a break. And also, Jonathan, check your back channel. I sent you something that I think you'd be interested in. I'll read it out loud after a second. But go ahead, Ashim, jump in.
Thanks, Mace. First of all, I don't know if I agree that this should even be a debate. I think what Mr. Bing, all respect, is bringing into this whole thing is a lot of noise and interference to the signal. The title of this talk is "The Government Lied to America About the COVID Vaccine," right? And I have a feeling if it was World War II, he would be denying the truth then too. The only reason in World War II you knew what was happening was a bombs going off. We're in a World War III right now, and it takes some sophistication to understand what's actually happening. They're doing more damage and more changes to the global structure today, and it's not done. They have a 10-year plan to 20 people right now, is to create another one. They've already done those fake built into the system. It's baked. Your QR codes for your vaccine, it's all there. The system is there. Now, the next time they release something, is everybody going to just say yes? No. Give a voice to the injured. Give a voice to all the people that lost their jobs. Think of all the athletes. The COVID, you couldn't even say it out in public. If you post on Instagram that this athlete died, you have to say died of COVID, you'd be blocked, right? So it's been hidden from guys then. Some people may need to wake up now, but you can't give too much room for people to run interference and miss the signal. The signal super influences. It's not about the doctors, the experts, because you can debate that till you're blue in the face. One expert will counter the other. You'll never get anywhere. And get this just say no non-compliance story up. That's what I have to
Thank
say.
you, Ashim. I appreciate
Hey, so I raised my hand for that teenager that said is there, and so I mean that is one of their plans of the world order to not hire full-time employees.
Socialism worked in.
When we were locked down, the telecommunication companies were installing 5G, which is known to be dangerous. Why were we forced to wear a mask a virus is 99% survivable, and the only people that would be affected is the elderly, right? And the immunocompromised. Did healthy people lock them, put a mask on, lock themselves in their house, were so afraid to even spend holidays with their family, right? And get vaccinated? Why? So ask yourself that question, and I hope it leads you to the answer. But a lot of us knew this from the beginning.
Have to make the same argument when it comes to people who are anti-science on the other. Happen here is it's not the fault of a lot of my folks. It would not prevent COVID-19. Fauci's own emails to friends and family actually did encourage them to look at ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine at the same time. At the same time, out of the emergency. It was Donald Trump. That's what happened because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and all 10 of the Democratic primary candidates when they were running for office back in 2020 were actually skeptical of the shot. They were skeptical of lockdowns. If I recall right, they all opposed lockdowns and mandated vaccines. But something changed. What changed? Oh, the election of 2020. They then got. There's two places you should really keep politics out of. That's in the medicine and in science, and in the classroom. These are two areas that should be off limits because there's a lot of lives on the line, innocent lives, children, elderly and children, babies. So the point I'm making here is we have to stop pretending like this is a debate that doesn't have facts out there. There are clear facts out there right now from Fauci's own words, okay? And this does not make you anti-vaccine, by the way, because the COVID shot, they had to change the definition of a vaccine to even create this as a vaccine. And I want to finish by saying this. Every one of the people that went to
because what you said so far was false. A lot of things
it's
you
not,
said. Are
so
false.
You're saying so if I produce you all 3,000
information.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually provided the information. Okay, and what you're saying is there's an article. Actually, there was a post that came out on June 21st that claimed they found a smoking gun in a batch of emails that Fauci sent earlier in the pandemic, obtained by BuzzFeed and the Washington Post through the Freedom of Information Act and published June 1st. Okay, according to this Facebook post, one of Fauci's most incredible emails is one that he advises his family members to use hydroxychloroquine as the press conference. He attacked President Donald Trump on the usefulness of it, okay, to fight the virus.
Yep.
So that was determined to be false, okay? And they went through it and they looked through all his emails, okay? And it's not no. That's
okay, but wait.
Yes,
can I just
over.
say something, Christopher? Let me just say something. I think it's like I get it. We can that's going really into the weeds of, what we're
stations that the NIH came out and said ivermectin it helps against COVID. How many of them? None. Right? So what we can talk, let me finish, Jonathan. I let you finish. So here's the deal. This is the problem. Okay. That's not what took place for the last 2 years. And the problem with that is this is not just government censorship. Who actually lost their license. There are doctors who are getting sued.
But we're not talking about
doctors. That right now. Jonathan, let me finish. There are doctors who are getting sued. There are doctors who are getting harassed.
Thank you for what you're saying. Once again, I'm only there for things. I'm not. not here for made up. I'm not here for story time. I'm
and by the way, Jonathan,
I think Nelson did the whole mute
thing. Ran on a bet that
Jonathan,
we had.
I don't want
Christopher,
any money.
Stop cutting him off, man.
So because that's what you're standing on. Now remember, because if you don't, abilities at stake, I'm giving you 2-to-1 odds. Okay, because something that you said is real. I'm giving you $1,000 to your $500. Okay, do you want to take my $1,000? Yes or no?
He and then he turned around and called it voodoo.
Been incorrect. So the fact checks have been fact checked. So
okay,
I
so
mean,
you want to take
you want
the base?
But no.
Just so you know, it's up in the Nest. All 3,200 emails. There's a Reddit link up there you can click on, and you can see You can see the emails in their entirety. So you have to put it on your tweet it, and then you have to hit the. It's like a little square down at the bottom, and it's like, and you send it to somebody in a DM, and at the very top it'll say the government lied to America about COVID vaccine and election.
Okay.
Yeah, Christopher, thank you, man. But you did wrong. Let's
well, listen, I think history is going to prove otherwise, brother, because the bottom line is people died.
I'm not talking about
that. You're just now seeing people that are dying all over the place, having heart attacks. The fact that the FDA had to come out.
But let's pass the mic around a little.
Personal thing for me.
Came up and you said it. You were very authoritative when you said it. It sounded good, and I was like, okay, well, let me go and check. I didn't doubt you, but once again, I just needed to verify it. And guess what? It was not factual, and I said something about it. So that's not challenging your credibility. That's me just speaking that, hey, I went and I reviewed it, and it was not correct. That was it.
So I put it up there. Your fact check, Jonathan. I figured out how to put it up in the. What do they call it? The Gamatron or whatever. The Nest. But no, there was another one that it was another term. Like whatever, when you go to the games, the big screen. But so it's up there. But overall, I also put the data that shows that tens of thousands happening is because of the censorship. And there's some sort of push to make people think something different than what it is. Even the degree of which, like the urgency around it and all, like it was, I don't know. That's what I want to keep bringing the attention to. But thank you, Christopher, for your share, and thanks, Jonathan, for providing your input as well. And now Melanie, how do I say your name? Melanie, go ahead and jump in, love.
So I wanted to, because one thing that you guys speak to in it came to a knockdown, drag out. I was ready to leave because I was like, if we don't vaccinate our children, they're going to die. If we don't do this, this is going to happen, because that's what I was taught. And my mind, it was very difficult to shift my faith for me to change my mindset. And for years, I was not happy about it, but out of respect for my husband and out of the respect for the fact that he kept giving me information, then I was able to make a choice. And now I tend to be on the other side. But the balance that I wanted to bring is to say, Jonathan, I get it. I understand. And I think a lot of people understand, because we've all been hit with fear. We've all been hit with bad information, good information, this information, that information. And because we're, once again, in the age of information, it's very difficult to sift it and decipher it. And whoever has the biggest listening to these conversations and being in you guys' rooms for 2 years, whether it's Clubhouse or not, I've grown to respect many of you. And I think, Jonathan, I probably respect you the most because I'm not able to hear one another, because at the end of the day, I think the agenda is to divide. A house divided against itself cannot stand. And that to me has been the greatest agenda in America in this whole thing, even before COVID. Politics divide, color divide. We have all of this division, and it is literally ripping our country apart at the seams. So, and it also makes us, the fight that we have, that all of us have, really respect all you guys equally. So thank you for allowing me on your stage.
A question. Tara, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Christopher, what were...
Wait, I think we have to bring him back up. Is he? Yeah, I'll bring him back up. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, well, actually, no. I mean, Christopher said that Fauci could be prosecuted for lying to Congress. I don't believe...
He's on stage.
Okay, Christopher, when are you talking about? I don't believe you're correct in all, but I'd like to know exactly. No?
Yeah, I don't think so. Hold on, but I see him in here. I'm gonna bring him up right now.
Let me try and explain something. Okay, you can only be prosecuted for what's called a material misstatement, first of all. So if somebody, for example, said, "Oh, I was wearing a blue dress," and it was a blue and white dress, you can't be prosecuted, right? There are things that are not material, right? But number two, you can only be prosecuted for lying if you actually can be shown to be lying. Now, what Dr. Fauci said was that he did not, they did not fund gain of function. Testimony. That's why I wanted to know about the second. But at any rate, no, but Mays, you have to understand the law. Okay, you're not understand. People are saying he lied. He lied. No, he didn't lie. Actually, he told what he believed.
We trying to make excuses for Fauci. You know, like why are we doing that?
When basis for a prosecution.
Even though you legally found a loophole to where he wouldn't fully get do you not see something wrong with what he did? Let's just throw all the other shit out the window. Like, it seems like he was argument or standing up for one side or being on that side of the fence.
To the gain of function. We don't know that.
Oh, no.
We don't know that. You did say that.
Well,
you basically
it was
implied
leaked
that.
from a lab, yes.
We don't know that. We do not know that. We don't know that it wasn't just naturally occurring. Maze, there is no...
And I'm sure that there's something... Consider it, instead of looking for stuff to be completely discredited.
But I'm happy to read any lawsuit. I'm happy to read any book. But the problem is you read a book and you assume, and a proposed lawsuit, and you assume it's all 100% truthful. My assumption is we have to cut you up, okay? One more thing about the deaths, Maze. You know how many people die in the United States every day? Do you know how many?
About how many people what?
Die in the United States every day. Yeah. 9,000.
Scare the fuck out of every one of us. And I got vaccinated twice with a booster. Couldn't get up those ladders. 3 weeks after you want.